What's up everyone, arCtic here, bringing you guys the 6th episode in my series here on the Razer Academy. Today I'm going to be discussing how to break down gameplay in video or replays in order to improve your game. A lot of these techniques I basically learned playing traditional sports. I played collegiate football at the University of Cincinnati, and you'd really be surprised at how many of the same types of video breakdown techniques you can adopt over to other formats of competition, gaming being one of them. Now with this video, I'm hoping to kind of help you think more objectively and analytically about breaking down gameplay videos, so you're just not staring going ooh and ah at certain kills and stuff like that, and you're really taking the time to focus on improving or how you can improve or adopt certain techniques or strategies that you see players using against their opponents. Now, one of the things that you may need when you start off is perhaps maybe a capture card or some type of recording software like Fraps on your computer in order to break down your own personal gameplay. If you don't have access to that already, that's a great way to kind of get you get your foot in the door in breaking down gameplay. But you can also, watch videos on YouTube and stuff like that, and just kind of make a mental note of different things you can do in those videos by watching those videos. So what I've kind of done is I'm going to just talk about some of the things that kind of benefits you from breaking down video, and throughout that process I think you guys will kind of pick up on why it's important. So whenever I watch videos, I feel like it does three things. I feel like it increases your awareness, it helps you identify players' weaknesses and their strengths, and it's also great for learning new strategies and techniques. So starting with awareness, and when I say it increases your awareness, some of the things that it does there is helps you learn the timing of the game. So, or the timing of your opponents. So if they're going to X position at 30 seconds or 45 seconds, and you consistently see they're hitting that almost at a certain point every single time, maybe that's a position on a map, or they're building a unit that fast, or whatever the case may be, depending on your game, it's very easy to look at that and say, okay, well, this is what that opponent is doing here. I'm going to make a mental note of that. You can also learn the game flow. Again, with tendencies or timing, it's very easy to understand the general game flow. Okay, they do this, then they do this, then they do this, and all of this happens in 5 minutes. So it kind of helps you understand the game flow and how things are working. And again, the other thing, the really big thing here, is that it helps you with learning player tendencies. If you play Street Fighter, you notice that he does a certain move all the time, or high frequency. You have a better chance to counter it or prepare for it in that regard. Or shooters, you notice that a team does a certain, we'll throw numbers in for shooters. They always do a 2-2 or a 4-0 or a 5-0 or a 3-2 split or something like that on a certain map. And what I mean by that is they send 2 guys one way, 2 guys another way, or 3 guys one way and 2 guys another way. Whatever the game may be, that's how you can kind of break it down. So it's really important to look at those things and kind of say, okay, on this video he did this, on this map he does this, with this race or character he does this. So that's how it kind of increases your awareness. Again, that also helps you identify player weaknesses and their strengths. So when you identify player weaknesses, maybe in a specific match that you're watching, your opponent that you're about to play has just lost, and you go, wow, they lost. What can I do to improve, or what can I pick up from this match that's different from all the rest? And the things that you kind of look at from that standpoint is, did he make mistakes? Did your opponent make mistakes? The big question that I always ask whenever a team loses is, what was the other team or player doing in that same situation? Because it's a very easy way for you to say, okay, well, he did this. We'll say, again, we use numbers. This team ran a 2-2, and your upcoming team ran a 3-1 or something like that. And the 2-2 beat a 3-1. And you're like, wow, I wonder what those guys are doing that's making that really effective. So you kind of have to ask yourself, okay, well, if this strategy is working against this guy, then maybe I can pick something up from that particular strategy, the 2-2, for example. And it's it's a very good way to learn those strategies and techniques that can be used to defeat your opponent. You also learn different tendencies in terms of weaknesses, like maybe they're not as good on a certain map. So you watch 10 videos and maybe 7 out of the 10 they lose a specific map. So if you have a tournament where you get a map selection or a character selection, and you notice they have a tendency to struggle against that particular map or that particular opponent or that particular character, whatever the case may be, you can say to yourself, I have a better chance of winning if we pick this map, or if I go with this character, or if I do this. So that's also very important to know. Again, now with learning new techniques and strategies, we're moving on to the third one. It's really hit or miss here, because there's two things that you have to try to consider when you learn new strategies and try to pick those up from videos. One, you don't want new strategies and new techniques to mess up your own game flow. So you want to keep things within the confines of your game strategy, your mental picture for your team or your players. You don't want to get taken outside of your game. So you don't want to try to do things that you're either not capable of doing or just haven't practiced before, especially if you're in crunch time for a tournament. Now, let's say a tournament is a month away and you see something that you want to try and practice, well then maybe you take those techniques or strategies and you practice them for 25 days against other players, not that opponent, but other players that either play similarly as your opponent, or maybe they don't play at all like them, but you just want to see how that new technique works. That's a great way to prepare yourself when you play your opponent. Now, the last little bit of this is breaking down your own gameplay. All the same things still apply, but when you break down your own gameplay, typically what I do is ask myself, well, how could I have done this differently? And in order to do that, I actually have some gameplay for the first time that you guys can watch. Now, to set the tone for this is Gears of War 3 gameplay, and this is a 1v1 breakdown. There was 10 matches that I played straight. I lost one, so I went 9-1. And on the one that I lost, I decided to break down the gameplay and kind of analyze what I could have done differently. So take a look. Here, you guys may remember, this is the one that I lost. There's a couple of things going on in this that attributed to that. One, I was a little too confident going into this. This is my 9th game in a row. I won 8 straight, and I went left hand after I got an active on him, and he made me pay. The other thing is I don't really know this map very well, which we're going to talk about. Now, I walked through this map. At this point in time, he's lancering. I could actually run straight up along this wall, hugging it, and get to those barrels. And if I would have got to those barrels, I would have maintained right-hand advantage, and he wouldn't have been able to run down as easily as he did right here. Now, I messed up another spot because I did not know you could hop over that little pipe there, and if I would have hopped over as he's running around that way, I would have had right-hand advantage. Again, I did not know that, so I stopped. I saw him set up, so I was like, okay, I have active. I'm going to go for a hard aim. I hit him a little bit. It was enough, I thought, to pursue him, and he hit me with a hard shot. And this is my last mistake. I panicked, and I ran away. I don't typically do this if someone gets me full red, especially in this situation. I should have just fought the 1v1. Instead, I run, and he gets the down, and I die. Again, that was full of mistakes right there, so I hope you guys learned quite a bit from that particular breakdown. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed that breakdown. And I really hope that you could see some of the techniques that I've been talking about this video that you can kind of utilize for your own personal gain in order to improve yourself when you're watching videos or replays or whatever the case may be online, and you're able to exploit and execute some of those things in tournaments or upcoming matches. So until the next time, guys, I will catch you later. Peace.